What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Dominique.
What's up?
And my brother Derek.
What's up?
And this week, we're going to be talking about Twisters with an S, even though there was more than one in the first movie.
Yeah, but you had to distinguish between the original and the new one.
Yeah. I got you. And then I was going to go, oh, was it because of the twin tornado thing? And I was like, wait, no, because there was a twin tornado in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is a sequel to the original Twister, which we did a review of.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess sequel. I'm gonna put quotations after it. It's a movie about tornadoes. Is it really a sequel?
It's in the same universe.
Yes, because Dorothy, the machine they use to collect data on the tornadoes, that was still in here.
Yes.
Yeah, the Doppler.
Yes.
So awesome. But okay, so this movie, following, of course, another group of storm chasers, which I guess makes sense.
Obviously, yes.
And so you got Kate and her group of friends, and she's trying to collapse a tornado.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of an issue with this.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes.
One, I guess at face value, I guess technically if you take the moisture out, you could collapse a tornado. But then I'm like, how much would you need?
A lot.
So I have some movie facts about that, and I also have my own issues with that.
Okay.
I was just like, but we could talk about it when we get to that. But
but that's the premise.
Yeah, she wants to release polymer into the tornado that essentially it will absorb all the moisture in the tornado, and the tornado would then weaken and collapse on itself.
Yeah, in theory.
Yes. Sure.
But she's a college student, so fine, right? You know,
it's her thesis or something.
Yeah. So that's what they're trying to do here. And then she's like the tornado whisperer, right? So like she can see what's happening in the clouds, and you know, she's real good at it.
Yeah.
But then I guess she got it wrong. She thought it was going to be a weaker tornado, and it ended up being really strong. So her and her friends are caught in what was it, EF5?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they thought it was going to be an EF1. And remember, these scales are not like linear, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So an EF5 is magnitude stronger than an EF1.
Yeah.
So they're caught in it. No, okay. So we get this first scene. So they're all trying to escape their tornado. They're in the open field too. So bad spot to be in.
Yeah.
To be honest, and there is a bridge. And one of them said out loud,
she said it,
an underpass is the worst place for us to go.
And they immediately go towards the underpass.
And they're like, well,
because there was nowhere else for them to go.
They were better off laying on the ground.
Exactly. Where the car, they were better off staying, because that's the underlining ditch. You were better off staying down there than running, because you see how it sucked up all of her friends.
Yeah.
They were better off staying. I mean, get out the car.
Yeah. No, don't get in the car. No.
But as
they said that multiple times during this movie.
Yeah. They were better off just laying on the ground and hoping that it can glide over you.
Yeah. And that debris doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hope. So their one friend who apparently got struck by lightning, I don't think we needed that bit of information, but
yeah.
Well, because for that particular scene, before it came, he was more nervous than everybody else. Like he was scared to get out the car. Like when he did get out the car, he got out the car quickly, got back in.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was an explanation on why he was so skittish.
Or maybe because there's a tornado and you'll die. You know what I mean? That extra, he got struck by lightning.
I don't think they had proper, they had equipment to track the tornado, yes. But for storm chasing, I don't think they had proper equipment.
No, they were college students.
But yeah, and it's hard to predict. Like, even with all the equipment,
the thing is, you can't
can get it wrong.
Predict the size, or the tornado size is determined after the fact.
Yeah, and they mentioned that in the movie.
Right. So if I turn on the news and they say a tornado's coming, they're not telling me how big the tornado is, because they don't know.
They don't know yet.
You can't determine that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of factors that determines whether
I was like, it's not supposed to be that big. Girl, you had no idea how big that tornado was going to be.
No.
No. But no, she's the tornado whisperer, okay?
Right.
She can tell. She can definitely tell. So, yeah. So they went in the underpass, and her boyfriend and her friends and all got sucked up in the tornado.
Yep.
She was able to hang on. Why did y'all go to the underpass? By now we all know this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guessing in that moment they're thinking that is our only option.
Mm-hmm.
Although they did exactly what you thought it was going to do.
Yeah, it sucked everyone out.
Yeah.
It was a horrible idea.
Yeah, and her boyfriend wasn't gonna make it. His head definitely hit something. Cause I thought I heard a noise.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It would have been cool if they did have one of them survive, because you technically can survive being thrown by a tornado.
True, technically.
People have.
I mean, people have.
I thought it would have been like, oh, and this person survived it. You know.
No, I don't know. I thought they was going to show us where one of them landed. That'd have been cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, just to give like a like
that big old tornado. I think they landed very far away.
I wouldn't mind a little information if he ended up 10 miles down the road.
Yeah. But yeah, Javi wasn't close though.
Yeah.
No.
Their friend Javi.
Yeah.
He was not close. He was reading the data in a different area, so he was fine. And then she survived under the underpass by hanging on. I mean, I will say, if you're going to be under an underpass, at least that was, I think, the smartest position to be in is where the like beams are and kind of hold on to the beams.
Yeah, as long as your arms don't get ripped off. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I would have tried to go under them a little bit or something. I don't know, something that's going to like have something cover me. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they skip ahead, 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so now Kate's in New York. This was in Oklahoma, by the way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she moved to New York, where basically there are no tornadoes. New York City.
Although the one lady during the tour said that one hit in Brooklyn. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I should look that up.
I mean, it can hit anywhere.
True. We learned that.
Yeah, so she's in New York, and Javi comes to her because now he's got like some military technology they want to use to scan a tornado, which I mean, look, every bit of information you can get on a tornado, this was pretty much what the first movie was about, right?
Yeah, more data. The more you learn, the more you know, the more time you get. Yeah,
you can warn people so that they're not caught off guard, basically, which happened continuously in this movie. Like they never knew when the tornadoes were hitting in Oklahoma.
Issues with just some of the citizens, some of the warning. It just, I don't like what is happening. Look, I get there's not warnings to every tornado.
Yeah, sometimes it's a surprise. I get that, but I was like every single, and there were like 5 in this movie. Every single one, it was caught off guard.
I think it's one of those cases where you used to something happen, and like it happens, but nothing happens bad to your area or near you. So it was like people tend to let their guards down. Because like even in Cleveland, like when we get severe thunderstorms, people, and they be like, hey, go in your basement. Most of the people do not go in their basement. They just be like, oh, it's going to pass over. How many times we hear people say that about hurricanes?
Okay,
I think hurricanes is pretty stupid to do.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I would not play that game with hurricanes.
I wouldn't either, but people every year do, and then they're trapped.
Yeah, but I just feel like in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you're in Oklahoma.
You're in a flat area.
I want to talk about the citizens of Oklahoma.
They're my nitpicks.
Why you live there?
No, it ain't even that. It ain't even that. There's some more stuff.
No, they might not be able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll bring it up in
that
building not having a basement.
Yes, they're in my nitpicks.
Okay,
we'll bring up nitpicks. Yeah. Yes, there was a tornado in Brooklyn, New York, in 2007.
Yeah.
So they can hit anywhere. Yeah. But so she's there. Javi came to her because she's the tornado whisperer, right? So he needs her in order so they can get in the right position to collect the data. Because it's kind of crazy. They need to get in front of the tornado, right? They got to put 2 machines on the side and 1 in front of the tornado in order to collect it.
Yeah.
I was like, isn't it just triangulating? Do you really need to be in front, or do you just need something on 3 parts of the tornado?
Hey, he said he needed those actual points, which is a little weird. And then my thought about his technology, I guess, was how you won't be able to do this all the time.
No.
Because you will have to go out, find a tornado, hunt it down, and then get in the right position to set up your equipment.
Yeah.
Right, but it's giving them
It's
better
all about
data.
chance.
Yeah, it's getting them better data than they have at the moment. So again, every little bit helps. It can give people a few extra minutes, which means everything.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. Although I think it was kind of messed up of him. Now, he lived through a tornado too. But she was there in the thick of it and saw everyone die, and then he takes her. She gets convinced and goes down to Oklahoma with him in order to do this. And he takes her into a storm, and then he has a team, and then her part of the thing is to get in the front. She has to be in front of the tornado with him. I'm like, bro. And then she obviously loses it, and they don't get the chance to put down their little scanning device. But I'm like, bro, what did you expect? She was obviously traumatized.
Yeah.
And you're like, me and you are gonna get in front of the tornado.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's her first time being back too, so she hasn't dealt with tornadoes in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's we have to be in front of it.
Yeah, I thought, I was thinking the same thing, that is traumatizing.
Yeah, I was maybe start her off with the one that needs to be in the back or on the
he's
side.
Acting like she's tripping. I'm like, bruh, you know what? I would move to New York City too, because the odds of them being a tornado there, because she in Oklahoma, good well, next year there will be another tornado.
Yeah.
In New York, every 20 years, fine. I just thought that was really, but I feel like his character as a whole was just kind of badly written. In
a way, yeah.
I didn't like his character at all, and I think his the guy is a good actor, but this just, I don't know if it was the way it was written or the role. It's just something about it I didn't like. It just wasn't a fan.
Yeah, Javi wasn't that great, and then his business partner was telegraphically evil.
But hated her from the moment she stepped on scene. And I'm just like, bro, get over yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
And he didn't die.
Okay. He didn't die. It's fine.
Hey, the back.
Well, he could have. He did leave him out in the open in the middle of a tornado. We're gonna talk about that.
in the first Twister, they died.
Yeah.
They did die.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that, and I was like, that was deserving.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we got this other group, which is Tyler Owens.
Yes.
Tyler Owens is the name.
Tornado Wrangler.
Tornado Wranglers. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I mean, they were unlikable at first, which I think was kind of the point.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are y'all making all this noise and stuff? Also, well, because he was a YouTuber, and I'm like, you're chasing tornadoes for what? And I'm sorry, I know it's supposed to be we're against the corporations or whatever, but at first, I'm on the side with what were they called? Tornado Par or something like that? Storm Par. I'm on their side more because their reason for storm chasing is getting scientific data. I was like, Tornado Wranglers, what are you doing?
Well, I think, and I mean, they definitely set this up like this on purpose. It was just, they're basically influencers, but they chase tornadoes, and I can see how there is a market for that on the internet. Of people watching.
I watched some storm chase videos
of people watching these, and then remember, one thing is can you shoot fireworks in a tornado? So I bet they get requests on things to do in a tornado, and then they go see if they can do it. But what I will say I liked is that they end up not being, well, his crew was one-dimensional. Tyler ended up having more depth to him.
I will say, and that's why I said at first throughout this, which maybe is the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it did, well, one, they did show later on that when tornadoes hit communities, they would go out and volunteer helping people. So part of the money they made,
the proceeds that they made,
which is good, which I guess gives them a reason to storm chase.
And it showed that they did actually have some knowledge based on what was happening.
His whole team actually was pretty good.
Yeah.
So it really seems like it's just a front that you put on, a lot of people on YouTube.
Yeah.
To get your followers, gain your viewerships.
Right.
But they turn out to not be as silly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
As they
that's
initially
right. Because
appeared.
it's like, it's for our YouTube page.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is, it's like, yeah, you gotta pump it up. You gotta get excited. You gotta act, I guess crazy in a way, because that's what's going to give you views. But it was like, they weren't just like going to any tornado. They were helping survivors, but it's like all of that's not on the page.
Yeah.
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 And so that's how I felt when I first saw him. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you even doing this for?
Yeah.
And while cool for fireworks and a tornado, I also was thinking, like, isn't it going to just throw fireworks out at people?
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it could actually do that too.
Yeah, but like we said, as it went on, it actually turned around. And I agree with you. Tyler's character had a lot more dimension to him, which, was appreciated. Yeah. Stormpar, apparently, his partner and Javi's partner and his uncle basically is profiting off of the destruction, so they're buying up land when people which is that's scummy.
Yes.
But I don't know about Kate getting so mad at Javi. I get Javi's like, I'm trying to collect this data, like I basically making a deal with the devil in order to
accomplish something.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you go in business,
because I mean, he needs. It sucks, but it's like he needs the money, because to do stuff like that, you need money for the equipment, you need money for the trucks and all of that. So it was just like he made a deal.
Yeah, you make a deal with the devil.
Yeah. Now, I would have more of a problem with it. I have a problem with the uncle and stuff, obviously, but I would have more of a problem if they were somehow preventing warnings to go out, so that there would be more for them to collect, but they weren't doing that. So
yeah. I mean, basically, he's taking advantage of these people in their situation, which is
because he's buying up the land and then basically selling it back to them.
Yeah, which is awful. But
it's I guess an ethics thing or a moral thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so instead, you could be helping them, but he's not really.
No,
right.
No, he's profiting off of their
loss.
Loss, which people do.
Yes.
I mean, you ever been in a car accident?
Yeah, they call you. They don't waste no time.
No, we'll call you the same day.
Yeah.
Man, not even that. Man, I got like 25 calls. I'm like, bro, can y'all stop calling me? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm an insured driver. Yeah, so but that's the premise, right? So that's the whole setup for this. You've got tornado wranglers, the YouTubers, but with heart, I guess, influencers with heart, I should say.
Yeah.
And then Stormpar, the scientists, but working for an evil business. And so that's the whole premise. And then she's torn between them, because at first she hates Tyler as well.
Yeah.
But she starts to get to know him. What's the first storm was the fireworks one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently Tyler has a good eye for tornadoes too. Yeah. How many storms was it in this movie? It was a ton.
It was a ton.
The second one was when it ran into the power plant and caught fire. And Javier trucks turned over.
No,
that's not the second one.
That was the second one.
No, because there was one after the fireworks one, then there was one at the rodeo.
Yeah, because she was with Tyler when it hit the power plant, and so the second one they went to, they actually did collect data. She was still with Stormpar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it hit.
Tyler went the wrong way on that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
There was two.
Oh, right. That's the
and there was one that ended up not developing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was funny because they hunkered down. Now Tyler does have the right equipment on his truck. He's got like little drills to anchor the truck down. So they did all of that, and they're like, "Woo, we're going into the tornado, woo!" and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention there's a journalist with him. As well.
I believe his name was Ben.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
He's kind of not that important.
No, they could have did more with his.
Right, I was like,
Yeah.
if they would have allowed him to like continue the story.
Yeah.
He could have been compelling, but he just ended up not.
Yeah, because then like at the end with the last chase, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going on this," and that was the end of his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone on a second one with them because on the first one they went into the tornado without telling him.
Yeah,
I would.
They just told him to
put his harness on.
They're like, put on your harness. I would, man. I would have been so mad.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if you're a journalist, especially coming from London, right? They don't have tornadoes.
Yeah.
No.
So I could see why it'd be a piece you want to write about.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, I need to know the dangers going in.
Right.
Well, tell me before we're about to go into a tornado.
Yeah, that's like I'm writing a piece on volcanoes, and it's like, we're going through the mouth of the volcano, like.
Right, no. I might walk up the mountain, but I don't think we're climbing down into the mouth.
Yeah, I don't. Right. We're like, all right, put on your fire resistant suit. Like what? Nah, I'm staying at the bottom of the mountain, and we gonna write my story from here.
Yeah, but Kate starts to notice that Storm Park's not doing much because she has to convince them to go to the town after the second tornado, and it like devastated them, and then she noticed that the Wranglers were like handing out free waters and lunches and whatnot, which is okay.
Yeah, nice
charity work for them. Then we got the third one, which was at the rodeo.
Yeah.
Which when Tyler figures out she's not from the city because he kept calling her city girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he said, "Let me take you somewhere." Yeah.
And did they set this scene up just so she can say it's not my first rodeo?
Probably.
Is that why? I feel like that's why this whole scene. It couldn't have come afterwards. It wasn't that this was in there and the writer was like, "Hey, it would be fun if we said that." No, that's not how it happened. They wanted her to say it's not my first rodeo.
And a whole rodeo scene just for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double entendre.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how people watch it. Maybe I'm a big city softie or whatever. But in the beginning of it. Huh?
You have to be from there to get it.
But in the beginning of it, they're like wrangling their cow. I'm like, yo, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. But
especially since you're doing it for sport.
Yeah.
Rodeos are problematic.
Yeah. Okay.
They are.
I was like, I don't know if
PETA is not a fan.
Well, forget PETA.
I mean, agree. You can forget them. But no, rodeos it's not great. Like, leave these animals alone. Like, we're beating them up for sport. Let's not.
Yeah.
But it's real big in Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, they do like the beauty pageants.
Yeah, that's messed up too.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but
it gets.
Yeah. So rodeo's not great.
Yeah. And Tyler's like, I've got stomped on by one too many bulls. I'm like, bro, I don't need to be stomped on by a bull once in order to like figure out I shouldn't do this.
I instantly was like, man, he probably had broken legs, broken arms.
Wow, I wouldn't want to.
And then I was like,
at this point,
they experienced that. Yeah,
my life.
I guess it's got to be a thing that you really want to do because it's like it happens to them and then they turn around and like go back to do it.
Why would I ever really want to do that though?
I really want to get stepped on by a bull.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah,
right. Because one of the things is like, I mean, you got the bull riding, but then also like running from the bull, like no.
Well, Spain has the running of the bulls.
And they have the running of the bulls.
That's even worse.
Yeah. It's less, how about we just leave animals alone? How about that?
Yeah.
Or do the running of the cats or something like that. That feels a lot safer. I think I can get away from a bunch of house cats.
Is going to chase you.
No,
most of them going to just stop.
Why don't we use big cats like tigers?
No,
or something?
no, that's worse. No,
because it will not.
Because
stop.
they will catch you. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I mean, if we're gonna play these games with animals, play with an animal that's gonna catch you.
Speaking of big cats,
just throw cheetahs down there.
I heard cheetahs actually kind of suck.
No, they suck.
Yeah, they do.
I watched this whole Nat Geo thing on them. I was like, oh, I don't like you guys as much anymore.
Yeah, I thought they were really cool.
They're
they're
really
just fast.
small.
They're small. They barely can kill the animal that they catch.
Yeah.
And
they can't climb.
They suck.
Because they show like this jaguar carrying a deer up a tree.
Man, yeah.
And I was like,
they say jaguars is the best.
Yeah, cheetahs they're kind of weak.
Yeah, so they're super fast. They expend all their energy catching the prey. Yeah. So then they're stuck there, and then you got things like hyenas and stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, yo, I'm just gonna take your meal, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks. All right, we're off topic, so I'll jump back to Twisters. My bad.
Yeah. So the tornado comes and hits the rodeo.
Okay, yeah. So once again, I don't know what's up with Oklahoma. How come it's just a bunch of unknown tornadoes? And that alarm
I think it's
was
just
super late.
That alarm was incredibly late.
I think it's just for the movie.
Yeah, because I'm like, y'all didn't see that tornado beforehand. They had to hit the rodeo, and then you're like, oh, alarm. Woo! Like, and then so a couple of things. People running into their cars, and they have to keep telling them not to get in their car.
Yeah.
I think because what people's instinct is,
to
if I get in my car,
no,
if you see a tornado, don't get in the car.
You know why? Because you learn what to do in a tornado. My instinct is not to get into my car.
Yeah, this is probably in your nitpicks, but I'm gonna need the people in Oklahoma to know what to do in their tornado. The amount of people in this movie that didn't know what to do in their tornado, and I was like, this isn't like we said, New York City, right? Yeah. This is Oklahoma. Yeah. I think they wouldn't they know what to do?
Yes.
I think it was for the movie.
Yeah,
I really do think it's for the movie.
I was comparing it to us. As an area that can get tornadoes, we don't get a lot, although we've been getting a lot more than normal.
Well, you know.
Well, they saying that is shifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So last year in one day, 11 hit.
Yes.
I knew exactly what to do in that moment, and to your point, I got the warning. I did not go to the basement. I was prepared to.
I was prepared.
But I
did. I got woken up and I was slow to move to the basement, but I was like, no, they're right. We should go. Yeah. You know, when they're saying.
Yeah. No, that wind though was loud.
Oh, I mean, I was paying attention.
It was loud.
I was ready to bounce if need be. Now, would that have been dumb on my part? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't
yeah, because you might not
gonna just get into the basement.
You're not gonna outrun it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was out looking at the window. And the wind was so
this dude is right next to the glass.
Yeah, so
that's what you're not supposed to do.
You're not supposed to do.
So my point
I wanted to see it. That was in my head.
Yeah,
I wanted to see
my
it.
My point is, in an area that doesn't get a ton of tornadoes,
we've what to do
from a very young age. I mean, I remember it being in elementary school, going through tornado drills.
Yeah.
The building that I work
in a bathtub
have tornado drills.
Yeah.
So I find it hard to believe in the area that gets a ton of tornadoes, not one of y'all are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
And then we did get that person that Derek was talking about that was like, oh, this happens all the time. It'll
Sirens
stop,
go
whatever.
off all the time.
Yeah.
It'll go off.
Yeah, but then again, you're in Oklahoma. I'm going to take those warnings seriously.
Yeah. So they ran into this, I guess it was a motel or whatever, and they didn't have an underground spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I think it's probably code for every building in Oklahoma to have an underground area.
Some sort of storm shelter.
You're like, how would you not?
Yeah.
Like the theater.
But maybe
at the
some
end of the movie
old towns don't, though. It is very possible.
How old are storm cellars?
Yeah.
I mean, Wizard of Oz had storm cellar.
I'm with him on this one because my very first thought is, because even at the rodeo, I'm like, there has to be a storm cellar nearby.
Yeah. There's gotta be.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one. Even in the theater one, I was like, running the auditorium is not the safe place right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the building doesn't have a basement, which I buy. You know, you can't
Maybe
build a
the
basement.
theater doesn't.
At theater,
Maybe,
But I just feel like, to me, the auditorium is not the place you want to be.
No, it's too big and open.
Yeah.
But I don't know where else all them people would have been.
There were other
The
buildings.
bathrooms?
There was tons of buildings.
Well,
on that
they
street.
had the one building, but they said it was filled to capacity and they weren't letting no more people in.
Okay, but yeah, she's right. The bathroom, and then just kneel under a sink.
Yeah. But then
Hands
you
on your
wouldn't have
head.
you wouldn't have this dramatic effect though.
Yeah, and then people standing up and I'm like, bruh, kneel down, hands on your head.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So back to the motel scene.
Okay, well,
And
they
they-
run into an empty pool, which smart. Yeah.
And go to the deep end.
Yeah. And then there's a guy trying to get to the deep end with him.
Right. And he telling him to stay down.
And he's like, to stay down. So he almost gets blown away once.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you got to lay flat, stay down, and crawl flat, right? And he keeps on getting, no, I can do it. I got it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you idiot. So
Yeah.
he
his
gets
legs
up.
got broken.
Yeah. Yeah, so he gets up and the wind picks up underneath him, which is why you're supposed to lay flat.
Yeah. And he got blown all the way to the other side of the pool.
Which is why in the beginning of the movie I said the best thing they probably should have done was just lay down in the field.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now somebody probably would have got crushed by debris, maybe.
Yeah,
It's
I
possible.
mean, either way, it's like chances you're dying is very high.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just give yourself the best chance of survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so debris was coming towards him, and he decides to stand up again to avoid the debris, and the wind took him away.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Also, you like, how do you not know this? I don't know. You should know this.
Yeah.
But they got the people down in the pool, and they survived that one.
Yeah.
How many towns did they just go from town to town? Because
They
I'm
had
like,
to,
every
Yeah.
town just
That's
kept
how I
getting
was like,
destroyed.
this is strictly for a movie.
Well, no. I mean, there's been cases where, I mean,
we did get hit by 11 last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were in the movie. They did say that this was an unprecedented
Yeah.
situation.
What I was going to say is that, I mean, there's been reports of 30 tornadoes in one night. So for them to go town to town, I mean, granted, would it be 3 days in a row? Probably not.
Yeah.
But obviously, for movie purposes, it has to be.
Yeah.
But I'd assume that there's probably nearly 100 miles or so between these tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're following them. So
Yeah.
there's also that.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I was looking up different things about tornadoes after I watched the movie. And most deaths, even in that area, is at night because people are asleep and they don't hear the warning in enough time.
I don't know
But
how
it
you
was
don't hear that
like-
warning because that was loud as heck.
Yeah.
Oh, those alarms.
Yeah. But they
Yeah.
said
Do we have them here? They don't test them here.
No, we don't have them here, but on your phone.
Oh
Yeah. But they said that most of the deaths happen at night
Oh, that
because
makes
of
sense,
people being
yeah.
asleep.
Yeah.
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 Hope a tornado
Yeah,
don't
but
land
it
on
was
my
like
house.
during the day in that area,
Mhm.
it may be like, 1, 3 or 4 deaths compared to hundreds when it happens overnight.
Yeah. But after this, she meets with her mom, and then Tyler comes and then convinces her to try to stop a tornado again.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
Because he was like, it's a good idea. So they try again. And this is when we got the one that ran into the power
Right.
power
right
plant.
now.
Yeah.
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 Because
You-
it was just yeah.
Yeah. So she was mad at Javi. So she switched over to the YouTubers.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they were both chasing the same storm. And what happened? How did Javi? Yeah, I think the storm just hit in a weird way. His truck got flipped over.
Yeah, basically, he the wind or the
Yeah, because
tornado
he's still trying to
turned
get in front of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he jumps in front of them, but then the tornado changed course.
Yeah.
And they got hit with debris that flipped their truck over.
See, the thing about the first movie, which is why you were like the person that, died, and we're like, yeah, good, you should have. I think the difference is in the first movie they were acting really stupid.
Yeah.
Like they were doing real stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And in this, even Stormpar, even though they've got a pretty, well, most of them have a pretty bad motive. They still were kind of respecting the storm, which is not what they were doing in the first movie. So,
True.
Yeah. But yeah, so that gets messed up. They didn't get their data from that, did they? No.
No.
Is that the one where they Tyler and them tried to do the collapsing thing and it didn't work?
It didn't work. Yeah.
Right,
So they did release it into the tornado.
Yeah.
And it didn't collapse the tornado.
Yeah.
Which is how I would expect that to go. Because how much I still go, and then she said they use additives because she was like, yeah, I know, but that's what we use some kind of additives for. And I'm like, I don't know. The tornadoes are big. And then are we supposed to stop all of them? The 30 tornadoes that go.
That's what my issues is because how do you determine which tornado you're deciding that you're going to do this with? And then do you even have time to gear up and do this and then drive a truck into the tornado to collapse it?
Right.
Yeah, so Stormpar's research is a bit more important than that because they're trying to figure out information on tornadoes so we can warn people earlier. Yours is collapsing it, and then knowing that the one we just talked about, the storm that hit during the rodeo, how would having the technology to collapse it have helped in that situation?
Right, because sometimes you have a warning, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And then realistically, like right now, I think we get on average between 10 and 15 minutes. Is that even enough time once you determine that it's possible for a storm to be in the area to get all the stuff you need to do and get there? And then
you still don't know when it touched down.
When or where.
Yeah.
Right, think about it. Like
they give you a broad range.
Yeah, everyone in the area gets the warning.
Yeah.
The area hit. Okay, you were over here. It was over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that is like, okay, so then let's say you're in the right spot. You choose a tornado, but what about the other 3 that hit?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good idea, but I just don't think it's.
Yeah.
Maybe
Stormpar made the most sense because they were trying to understand, like, it was like they know what happens before and they know what happens when it lands. But it's like we don't understand what exactly starts the tornado. And that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah, they were saying we still don't know what caused. We kind of know, but there's so many factors there. We still don't know what causes a tornado to start, right?
Yeah.
So
because it's like you can have those same factors and just get hail and no tornado.
Yeah. So that's what their research was for, which fair enough. So maybe you put these polymers on buildings or something like that instead of chasing after it. So maybe it's like in the city on a building. So like if a tornado does hit,
they get released.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thought was like, do you just have these lying around in the field? But I have another issue with that too, but we'll get to that later.
It's the same issue I have with it, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't work, but Javi gives her the data that they collected, right? So because it's better information on the tornado, proof that his whole thing was worth it, right? So now with better data, she figured out what they needed to do, and basically they needed to make it rain in the tornado.
I think they needed to increase the moisture.
Yeah.
In order to have enough moisture in a tornado, in order for the polymer to absorb it all and collapse it, I think is how it went down.
Something weird like that. Yeah.
Which I understood because I'm like, most tornadoes are not going to have moisture in it.
Well, the moisture is what's causing.
Yeah, it's there, but they just didn't.
Well, it's like it's not wet enough, if that's a term.
Yeah, I think their explanation is basically your droplets are too small, right? And so by seeding it, making it turn into raindrops, now you have much bigger bits of water to deal with.
Right. Okay.
So it makes it easier to absorb. Yeah. Yeah.
Azor. Yeah.
So fair. So now they have an idea, and so this is when this last part comes up. We're in our third act of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Another tornado hits in the town. Were they prepared for this one? I don't remember.
They sort of, I think.
Yeah. Oh, they were prepared for it, and they were going to release it, but they saw that it was heading towards a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, to be honest, it would be better reason for you, since you got the collapsing thingy.
Yeah.
To try and get into it and release it there before it gets to the town.
Like my thing where we're saying like the citizens are dumb because it's like we need to get there and warn them, and I'm like,
they should already be.
They should already be warned.
Yeah, that tornado had touched down already.
Yeah. So I didn't.
Yeah, they should definitely have been warned.
Did we need to rush into town to help the people be prepared? And then people were being dumb.
They were trying to grab stuff,
holding on.
Yeah, this guy was trying to like he had like a what do you call it? Like on the side of the road,
like a booth.
Yeah, he had a booth. Yeah, and he's trying to like take it down.
Yeah,
like bro, the tornado is literally you can see it.
Yeah,
like go. But yeah, you're right. If that tornado had touched down that close, right? It wasn't in the town yet. But if it was that close
before it even got touched down because of the weather pattern.
Yeah, the whole area would have had a warning.
If they knew, like, if her team knows where the tornado is heading, then the weather service is doing their job, and those people already got their 15-minute warning and should already be in a place of safety.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yep.
But so they don't release it because they go to the town to warn it. And this is when Javi drops off his partner because he's like, I don't care about the people. Like I said, telegraphically evil.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, I don't care about the people's lives or whatever because he needs to get the tornado and this tornado, yada, yada. Yeah. So Javi like leaves him out in the field while there is a tornado on the ground. So I'm like, is that attempted murder,
I assume that guy's just dead.
I mean, like the tornado went towards the town, so maybe he didn't get caught up in it. But you never know.
Somebody else from the team picked him up.
Yeah, but I'm like, you never know. The tornado could have gone. You just left him in an open field while, like, pretty close to you guys is an active tornado. So I'm like, I don't know if that was a good thing or not, Javi.
Yeah.
You were driving. You could have just let him yell at you the whole way to town.
Yeah. Yeah, like, what was he going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go there. Tyler almost dies, and of course, Javi comes in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, he was still running. He was running.
I know, but his legs are broken.
Yeah, because a structure fell on top of them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because this is my thing. The structure fell, but he's holding it up just enough where it's not crushing him.
Nah. I like
how the water tower fell.
Yeah, bro.
And just enough water fell
out. So many issues with that water tower. Just many issues.
Because I was like, oh, it's going to fall. I was like, well, they drowning. They're going to drown.
No, it just swept them off their feet. The water tower wasn't full, you see.
I was like, when it fell, I was like, all three of them dead. They drowned.
Because that's the thing that cities do. They don't keep the water tower full.
They just have just enough.
Yes. Yeah.
Just enough water in there. Yeah.
But Javi come and help them save. Have like people get their foot caught in something,
right?
And then like
it's not
and
spraying.
It's just them like not limping twisted. A little bit afterwards, like it didn't get broken.
That foot is broke.
Yeah,
you're not walking on it.
No,
he's not holding up that part. I was like, he's not holding up that structure.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what is he, Superman? It was falling, and he's just like, nope, don't crush me. Like no.
Yeah, but so everyone's escaping to a theater, and there was nothing underground there.
Right. Yeah.
And they're all in the big open auditorium.
Yeah. Right. So the roof.
I mean, at least they were down below seats, I guess.
Yeah, but they started at the bottom, and then it's like, oh, we need to. I don't know. I was just like, this is not the place you want to be, and I would not have went to the auditorium.
Yeah. So tornadoes ripping stuff up, and she's like, the people aren't safe here, so she decides to go run to the truck to try and stop the tornado. And then one of our tornado wranglers almost gets sucked up in the tornado.
But she's out just in time.
Yeah. But yeah, basically that's it. She releases her polymer, and their new idea actually worked, and it collapses the tornado.
Collapse.
Cool, it worked one time.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. Now you gotta do it again.
I don't know, where'd you get all the polymer from? That was my question. I'm like, where'd you get all this from?
You can buy it.
She had barrels and barrels of it.
30 of them.
Like, I know you can buy it, but what college student, because this was left in her barn from college, right? So what college student has enough money?
She was just collecting them.
You can't just collect polymer. It's not like it's on the side of the road.
30 barrels on that thing.
I'm assuming her mom mortgaged the house to buy it. I don't know.
Okay, all right. It's not that expensive. Barrels of it. I don't care when you say something's not that expensive. That's me buying a can of it, right? Okay. Once you get 30 barrel fulls, I think it's expensive.
Yeah.
I will look up to see how much polymer costs.
Yeah. But anyway, she stops the tornado, and then Tyler stops her from flying back to New York because they love each other or whatever. And that's our movie. Yes. Twisters. Yes. Way too many tornadoes in this movie.
It was.
No, that's funny. That's right. I'm joking. Obviously, I expected them to be a lot of tornadoes in this movie.
Yeah, because it was called Twisters.
Yeah.
So you had to have more tornadoes than the first movie.
Man, I wanted some outlandish stuff like 4 tornadoes at the same time, and they're like surrounding their cars. You know, some Fast and the Furious type stuff.
That's gonna be in the next one. Twist again.
All right, so I guess no. Twister, the twistiest.
The twistiest?
Yeah,
because you got Twister and Twisters. Oh, you got
or you know what? Or is a tornado so big it's a hurricane on land? Which actually hurricanes can be on land. Learned that the other day.
Yeah.
If the land is wet.
Yeah, it can be.
Florida.
Yeah.
Or Louisiana or Texas.
But I mean, with climate change, none of our land is wet, so because we don't have to worry about that. All right, movie facts.
Random movie facts.
All right, so as of this taping, it has an $80 million opening.
Okay, all right.
Did better domestically but that's not surprising. I'm pretty sure Tornadoes doesn't appeal to the international audience.
Yeah. I mean,
it's big for us here.
Yeah. Apparently Bill Paxton's son was the angry motel guest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So Bill Paxton, I mean, obviously he's dead now.
Yeah.
But his idea for the second movie was to be about the 1925 hurricane. Tornado.
Which is supposed to be the biggest tornado on record.
Killed 750 people.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I want to see that movie.
Jeez. Okay. But do you just recreate it for modern times?
I would make it a modern.
Oh yeah, I would make it modern.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe not, because it would be interesting to see what did you do. I mean, 1925, we didn't have nearly as much technology.
That's probably why so many people died.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, see, if you told me there was no warnings in 1925, then I'm more believable than the no warning this town got.
Yeah.
In
for
this
all
movie.
of them.
Yeah.
15,000 homes.
Woo.
That's a lot. They were going to shoot this movie in LA for some reason, just like the first one. I'm like, why?
Why? Go to Oklahoma. It's got to be cheap to film in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So eventually, someone big brain
when they worry about a tornado happening for real.
But anyway, someone decided, what if we shot it in Oklahoma?
Good.
Yeah. Although the New York City scenes were just downtown OKC.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine. This film was delayed quite a bit, first by COVID, then by the writer's strike. And
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, it went through both of those.
I think it made it through those for that.
I think it made it through. But the budget did end up increasing from 120 to 200 million.
Okay.
So,
Ooh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
they
So they got
probably
a
had to
ways to
do-
go then.
Yeah.
They'll make their money back.
Okay.
They'll make
Yeah,
their
because I
money
think
back.
they're at 123 right now.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So about her.
Yep, 123.
Do I want to say this for nitpicks?
We're on facts.
Okay. I will give you a fact about Javi's technology then.
Okay.
Theoretically, it's a thing.
Oh, the little scanner things?
Yeah, because
That was believable.
there's technology that can scan and take images of a tornado shape. It's not portable. It's not nearly as small as the stuff that we're using.
Well, that was the number one thing she said in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, because I'm
She was
pretty
like,
sure
how are you going to
it-
make something that small?
It was real military technology that he showed her in the beginning. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's just it's not portable.
Yeah, and each one of those system things will need its own generator to run.
I
So
figured. I figured. Right.
Yeah,
They
that
just
makes
pull-
sense.
They just pulling it out,
That's true.
hammering it on the
connect to
ground. It didn't
anything.
connect to nothing.
They just stood up tripods and they were like, "Yep, there we go."
Yeah.
It didn't even register when I was watching the movie,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So good idea. We just
Yeah.
don't have the technology
we're
for
just
it.
not there. It's kind of like how in '96 with the little pop can things they were doing.
Yeah.
It's like good idea, but in '96 we just didn't have the technology to
Mhm.
do what they were doing.
Yeah.
I think we
Mhm.
have something like that now,
Yeah, we do.
but it just
Can we use drones now?
it probably.
I mean,
yeah.
just try not to get them sucked in the tornado, but I mean,
I think that's what's the issue.
So I am going to nitpick this a little bit, but for the fact part of it, you kept saying like, how much polymer would you need?
yeah.
22,000 tons.
22,000 tons?
Yes.
She don't have the money for that as a DJ.
See,
was
so
bringing out.
basically,
You're not putting that on your truck.
I'm gonna make this a bit more clear for people. So basically, she was trying to put them little silica gel packs that you get in your shoe. She wanted
Yeah.
to throw that into a tornado to stop it.
Yeah, and she needed 22,000 tons.
22,000 tons.
Yeah.
That was the first when she said it in the very beginning of the movie for her college thesis or whatever. I was like, wouldn't you need like a whole lot for it to affect the weather?
Yeah.
Like you would need a whole lot,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I was right about that because that's insane.
Who's pulling that?
No one.
So they
Absolutely
would
no one.
never do that because tornadoes happen all the time.
Yes.
How are you like? What's the point of stopping one? Just get out of the way.
Yeah. All right. Nitpicks.
All right. Pick some nits.
Pick some nits.
So I'm sorry, but I was annoyed by Stormpar naming all their stuff after the Wizard of Oz characters. I just felt
Well,
like it
because
was
of Dorothy.
It was too
Yeah.
much. I know why I didn't like it. It was
Oh,
just too
I
much.
didn't mind it.
I didn't.
I like it's a tornado, and
That-
everybody equates tornadoes with the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that was a definite nitpick there. Out of this.
Yeah,
I know. I
that's
said it was-
that's a nitpick by the meaning.
It is my own personal feelings. I was annoyed.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think we complained enough about the citizens of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
If there's
like,
anybody listening from Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure they did not do you guys justice in this movie.
that's like living in LA and not knowing what to do
in
during
an
an
earthquake.
earthquake.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's an earthquake. Let's get to the highest part of a skyscraper.
So this earthquake. We'll just start running upstairs.
Actually, wouldn't the safest spot in an earthquake be like an open field?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
There's nothing to fall on you.
Except for, those usually happen in cities, so there's that.
that's the issue.
That's true. Well, no, that's the ones that get reported because that's where the damage happens.
True.
Also,
True.
we need to go over there to Japan for earthquakes because they got like this big old giant building dedicated to simulating earthquakes so they can build their structures to withstand earthquakes.
Yeah,
That makes sense. They get hit by some.
yeah,
cities.
they get a lot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
They
yeah.
get hit by a lot of earthquakes.
So,
They're
yeah.
on the ring of fire. It's a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're living on a piece of land that was also made by volcanoes.
Yeah.
All right, so the evil guy, his name is Marshall Riggs. I have some issues with his plan. So you're spending millions of dollars to get information about tornadoes so you can know where they're going to hit?
So he can know where to buy land. I guess that's the plan.
But he's only buying the land after it gets destroyed. Do you?
Knowing where it's gonna hit is not gonna stop it from destroying their land, I guess. So.
But does he need to spend the money on this research? Is what my question is. Because
that's true, because he could just swoop in every time there's
exactly okay. Tornadoes.
And I'm pretty sure there's people like that.
Honestly, he could have just hired storm chasers without the whole needing for the science stuff. Mm-hmm. Storm chasers to let him know when it devastates the town, and then he can go.
Or you could just watch the news.
Yeah, true. Oh, well, then everybody else knows then.
And he wants to be the first one.
First to the thing.
But then my thing is, I would just head towards the Midwest during tornado season.
Yeah, that's true.
Oklahoma, Arkansas, Indiana, someone's getting hit by a tornado.
Yeah, he didn't need the technology. You got a point.
Yeah, I just didn't. I'm like, you're spending millions on this.
Yeah,
and I just didn't see how that was helping him.
It wasn't. It was a convoluted plot. They just wanted Stormpar to be evil, which is why I didn't really like it, because it was like. Again, I get corporations bad. I get guys, most of the time they are. But like I didn't see a reason for Stormpar to be bad in this movie. Mm-hmm. Right? Besides their little push for the uncle's buying up or profiting from people's devastation.
I would have almost liked it better if it continued to be a rival between the professional storm chasers and the YouTubers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because honestly, you didn't need that. Yeah. You didn't need them to be bad. I guess she wouldn't have gone to Tyler, though.
Well, he was more charming.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have eventually convinced her.
Yeah. All right. That water tower didn't have nearly enough water in it. just not.
Not for the town to use it.
You made this big old thing about it falling and going to have a little swallow of water in it. I'm like, oh.
If it was that much water and that town was not getting water.
It's not nearly enough water.
It's not.
It wasn't.
Because like they would have been washed down the street or drowned. Just ridiculous.
No, it just knocked them off their feet. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Back to this polymer. Polymer has a shelf life.
Oh.
Of 1 year.
1 year?
Yep.
So all the ones that she had in the barn would have been useless.
That was my very first thought. I was like, polymer has a shelf life.
I didn't know that.
I
figured they would just lasted forever. I don't know.
Nope, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Well,
24 hours if it's already mixed.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Dominique is teaching us something new.
Yeah. So
I guess through the whole movie, it was useless.
So I guess all the people in that theater died. Yep. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Why was the tornado heading directly for them? They all go in the theater, and the tornado's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna destroy this theater right here."
Moving. I'm just like, man, this tornado just don't turn, huh?
Yeah. This is the most recent time that it happened where they thought like the tornado was coming at them was in Joplin, Missouri. When it hit the school and the hospital. Yeah. Like, it went straight for the school.
But, like, there are a lot more tornadoes that happen in the U.S., and most of them happen in open space, and that is for good reason.
Yeah.
The conditions are better when the space is open. Now, not saying they don't cause devastation. Obviously, they do. We've seen it. But, yeah. The amount, it seemed like every tornado in this movie hit a town. Yeah. And it was like.
And then for it to be major devastation every
time. Yeah, I was like, man, the state wouldn't make no money.
Yeah. And then also, but that was my last nitpick, unless you guys have more.
No, I'm
I felt like that. I hate, like, I'm going to compare it to the first one, but I'm going to compare it to the first one. To me, the scenes in this one wasn't as intense as the scenes from the first one.
I felt like the very first scene was more intense.
I think that in the pool one. The rest of them, no, not so much.
Yeah, in the pool. Yeah. But the beginning of that wasn't intense. But like them getting in the pool and all of that, I felt that was intense. And I felt the first scene was intense throughout. But the rest of the scenes, no,
none of the stuff.
Because I was watching it and I'm like, none of these people are going to die.
And that was my problem. Like, we knew nothing was going to happen to them.
Yeah,
that's true. None of the main characters died, did they?
No, not even
nobody.
No injuries or nothing. And then I was thinking of the first one, like, when they were at the drive-in.
Yeah.
Like, the first one, just the way the scene opened up and they're showing you the Shining.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is creepy.
Yeah, and then the tornado just slowly blowing through the screen.
I'm like, where was that scene?
Yeah.
And then I feel like...
Then the guy that stood...
Yeah.
That smacked in the head with the hellcat. Yeah.
And I'm like, where was that at? And then I felt like there was a, CGI or whatever. I think it might have benefited some little... I mean, I know the people in the first movie suffered. But maybe this movie would have been benefited from actual ice being thrown at you or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
I felt like, this is my nitpick, I felt like the scene with the mom wasn't necessary.
No.
It
meant nothing to me.
Yeah. It meant nothing. Because and like you said, trying not to compare it to the first one. But like in the first one, when she went back home with her mom, it was like, you felt for the mom. Like there was a chemistry there. And then it's like a tornado came and affected the city that her mom was in.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was no stakes for the mom for her to be motivated to do her job.
The mom didn't even motivate her. Tyler's the one that motivated her.
Yeah, I think the difference is in the first one, those characters on her team was immediately likable, and you cared about what happened to them.
Yeah.
Compared to outside of the two main characters in this movie, don't care about none of these other people.
Yep.
They're just one note nothingness.
Yep.
In the first movie, the relationship, and it was her aunt in the first movie.
Oh yeah, it was her aunt. Yeah.
It was set up because they were near home, and the whole team's talking about, we're going to dinner. She's like, no, we're not going to dinner. We're not going to dinner. Only to then show them at her aunt's house eating dinner, and you can see how these people are a family. They know her aunt well. Everyone's having a good time. They got, giant 20-ounce steaks and everything. So you're seeing that, right? So now you like her aunt, right? Now you like this team more. Then you come back because her aunt ended up being in a town that didn't have enough warning.
Right.
Right.
It happened that night.
And it happened at night. And they had like 2-3 minutes. But now you're like, oh man, I don't believe something bad because now we know her. Now we care. And this one didn't have none of that.
No. Yeah. Outside of the two main characters, is like didn't care about nobody.
And Kate was up and down. It's just she was.
Yeah, I didn't want Tyler to die.
No, I mean.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
And I'm like, I like the Tornado Wrangler crew, but like you said, there was no attachment to them. Like
and no stakes.
Like even though I liked them, there was not there was nothing that made me like, oh no, don't let them die. Yeah.
But even then, I mean, when tornadoes hit, like they only focused on Tyler and Kate. You didn't really see what's happening with the other people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I felt like we got more of the Storm Part people than the Tylers.
Who else was on the team?
Yeah, no, we didn't. We saw them a little bit in the beginning, and then that was it.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. You only seen them in the beginning.
For that first storm, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So, are we rating it then?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give it a watch while folding clothes.
Agreed. I honestly, the more I think about this movie, the less I like it. So.
Yeah.
I will give it a watch while folding clothes. I could watch it again because I like tornado movies. Outside of like all the recent tornado movies that there have been, I feel like it's better than those. There's been 2 other ones.
Oh, I was like, what? I don't watch a lot of tornado movies.
It's been 2 other ones since Twister. But see, y'all don't even know.
Made for TV?
Major. They weren't good.
Was it like the 9.5 or 10.5 earthquake movie or whatever?
Something like that. But it weren't good.
Oh, okay.
They weren't good. That's why you don't know about them, because they weren't good.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of disaster movies lately. I don't think.
Well, I mean, back in the day, there was a ton of disaster movies, like all the time.
I felt like there was always an earthquake movie.
Is it that there's always disasters in real life, so we don't want to watch disaster movies anymore?
Could be.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to get too real. Like, oh, we can get a 10.5 earthquake.
No, let's not. All right. Well, so watch while folding clothes. I would say, I don't know, if you're a person that likes disaster movies, sure, you can go watch it. I'm not gonna recommend that, like, oh, this is a must-see movie.
No, because here's the thing, like, I wasn't expecting a compelling story.
Yeah.
But I did want to be entertained throughout, and I honestly wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's just what kind of, it's like, you want to be like, oh, it was a fun movie. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The 4 tornadoes dancing around their car and stuff.
Okay. I said fun, not ridiculous.
Give me ridiculous. Yeah. But all right, so that's 3D Rivals ratings. Watch while folding clothes for a Twisted. If you saw the movie, let us know what you thought about it in the comments. Leave us a rating review wherever you are listening to the podcast, and we will see you in the next one.